It's gotten worse, and we can talk about some of the reasons why.
Okay.
But I think even for those of us who may have been experiencing loneliness years ago, and I include myself in that mix. As a kid, I struggled a lot with loneliness. The scariest part of the school day for me was lunchtime, walking to that cafeteria not knowing if I'd be able to sit next to somebody. But for all of us who experienced it, many of us, we thought we were the only ones.
Yes.
And it was only years later, Oprah, when I reconnected with classmates from school, that many of them said, "Oh, wait, you were struggling with loneliness too? So was I. I thought I was the only one." But I think that a chance to talk about it now is really important, because the two things that I've learned about loneliness is that, one, it's extraordinarily common. So more than half of young people are struggling with loneliness, a third of adults.
That is so surprising to me, because it seems to me that young people are consistently on their phones, talking to somebody or texting with someone. So how could you be lonely if you're in constant contact?
So that's the right question. And I think it comes down to the fact that whether we're lonely or not has to do with the quality of connections in our life, not the quantity. So if we have, for example, thousands of followers on social media, doesn't necessarily mean that we're not lonely. And there's nothing wrong with having thousands of followers. But if we rely on those, that network as our source of social sustenance, then that can be problematic. What matters is the quality.
It's the quality of the relationships, not the quantity. So you can have 1 million followers, no real connection with any of them, and when they're sleeping or not texting you or whatever, posting with you, you feel a void.
That's right, because the quality of connections, Oprah, is really about, do we have people who know us deeply for who we are? Do we know others? Are we able to show up for them in a crisis, and do they show up for us? Can we be ourselves around other people? And if we're honest about it, and I include myself in this mix too, many of us probably walk around the world with masks on, trying to be somebody that we think other people want us to be, or what society tells us we should be. And sometimes, though, if you have the chance to be with somebody who's a true friend, where you can take that mask off and just be yourself, you know how good that feels, how powerful it is. Those are the kind of relationships that actually contribute to a sense of connection.
So if you don't have that in your life, relationship or relationships where you can take the mask down, so you can, not smile when you don't want to and all that stuff, you risk having this feeling of loneliness.
That's right.
So it's the quality of the relationships. Okay. And you suggest we also embrace solitude. I embraced that a long time ago. And solitude is actually, I have to say, it's actually my happiest place. And when we're not podcasting in this room, this is one of the places I come to be with myself. So explain the difference between loneliness and isolation, because I spend a lot of time alone and I love it. Yes?
Yeah, and Oprah, just out of curiosity, how much time do you think in a given day you spend alone in solitude?
Well, if Stedman's not here, who travels a lot, I am alone all day. All day.
And would you consider...
With Sadie the dog. So I don't consider that actually being alone. I feel like Sadie is a person with fur. Yeah.
And would you consider yourself an introvert?
Welcome back to my channel. It's Friday, January the 3rd. It's super early in the morning. I decided to do this super early. I'm still on my break from work. I start back work Monday. But I wanted to come on to talk about something, and I figured I would need to come on early before my daughter wake up, before my mother wakes up, before the dogs start running around, yelling, barking, all of that. And as you can see by the title, loneliness in a world of all of this technology, right, that we live in. There are still people, it's an epidemic now. Imagine that. Loneliness is an epidemic. Dr. Murphy was on the Oprah podcast, and he was breaking it down, and he was talking about loneliness. I was on social media for 10 years. I was on Facebook and Instagram. I deactivated my account It's been a week now. I went through a small type of withdrawal. I was like, ooh, but I really didn't miss it. I really still have not really missed it, because I knew that those friends were artificial, that they weren't. It was it was it was quantity, not quality. So I didn't miss them. I still don't miss them. Now, will I go back on social media? Maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll go back on my Facebook and my Instagram. But for now, I am so excited and so happy to be alone, to have that space and don't have to worry about what someone else scrolling through my social media and looking at what other people are doing and comparing myself to someone else and their fabulous life. So anyway, I wrote some notes down on my computer here about some of the things that Mr. Murphy was talking about. Now, mind you, he's a man of true knowledge. He's, in the service, and he's been to school. And am I someone licensed like that? No, absolutely not. I am a person that works in a classroom with students. I do not have a psychology degree. I don't have any kind of degree of the mind. But I do have awareness. Awareness that I feel is very important for the human mankind. Um, I think it's okay to embrace solitude, to embrace being alone. Now, can that be unhealthy at times? I'm sure it can. I'm sure it can. Practice, let me see. So I wrote some notes. It says practice mindfulness or meditation and save your moments of quiet and stillness. I've done that too. I've done that before. Limit time on social media to reduce pressure or constant stimulation or comparison. Because we don't want to compare ourselves with anyone else at all. And especially for you young people. This epidemic of loneliness is really hitting the Gen Z population. Let's see. What else did he talk about? Building social connections. Can I pull this down? Oh, wow. I got a lot of information. Wait a minute, you guys. I got a lot of information. What I did was, I was taking notes because navigating singleness and social pressure. So some of the notes I have: surround yourself with people who uplift and appreciate you, regardless of your relationship status. And that's so true. I have friends that I've grown up with, and I much more prefer to talk to them and get their feedback. Rather, if I want the feedback or not, I know that person. We've built a rapport with each other. We've grown together. We've known each other since years and years ago. I think that's important. Um, Grieving and honoring the loved ones. We've all had, well, I know my father has passed away. My grandmothers, both on both sides, are gone. Is there a difference between grieving and feeling alone when you've lost someone? I think when you're grieving, I think a lot of times when you're grieving and you're feeling lonely from grieving, don't forget that person. Talk about them. Talk about the good times, especially when you lose someone, but you gain something in the world. Say you had a huge accomplishment. You had a really great accomplishment. And you go to say, oh, I wish I could tell my mom. Oh, I wish I could tell my dad. Oh, I wish I could tell my aunt or this friend. Talk about them. It's okay. Still talk about them because they're still around you. I think they are. I think they're still around you. They're on a different level. They may not be in the flesh, but they are definitely around you on a spiritual realm. And it keeps them alive. to you keeps them alive. And it makes you happy. And it's about being happy and being content. Find comfort. Find comfort and belief that their spirit still is present, that they are still around you, offering you guidance and on a different level, on a spiritual realm. Let me see, what else did Dr. Murphy say? I like him. I like Dr. Murphy. He was giving me some good insight. Oh, he says practice steps to reconnect or build relationships. Volunteer in your, this is a good one. Listen, practice steps or reconnect or build relationships. Volunteer in your neighborhood or community to meet like-minded individuals. So if you're feeling lonely, go to places in your community and connect. Do some work. Volunteer. I think that's important, that you know that you still matter, that you belong. And even if you're like geriatric age, know that you matter and that you belong and that your words are so important. Just know that. What else did he say? Help neighbors with small acts of kindness. I like that. Because I'm that kind of person. I love helping people, just random small things. I talked about that on my last video when I said I want to do things at a bigger level. Absolutely. But small acts of kindness goes a long way. And it'll make you feel good too. What else did he say? Oh, he said you can help people work yard work or run errands for people. Those are just small suggestions. I think 2025 will be a year of more of awareness of ourselves, because I think a lot of people want to get away from the facade of social media and how all these people are doing these miraculous things, are going out and celebrating life every weekend, or having a great time, and all this and all of that, just to go home and be alone. Yeah, to be alone. Don't think that you're the only one alone, because there's a whole lot of people out here that got this huge facade for social media, but then they go home, or wait, even better yet, guess what? They could be on site on social media, or not on site on social media, but on site at the place that they're at, having fun, eating, and having a great time, and laughing and smiling, but totally lonely on the inside. And then they go home and they post that they're having this great time. But deep inside, they wish they were home, in solitude, like you are right now, like I am right now. Yeah. So don't let social media take you on a spin that you think that so much is going on out here. Nothing's going on. It's the same wheel that's been spinning since the beginning of time. Another thing he said was show consistency in relationships, whether they're old or new friends. Being present and being reliable matters. I know that's right. It was something that happened to me years ago. And I remember my family drove all the way to Ohio, 600 miles, to be by my side. I will never forget that. They could have just called. They could have just said, hey, you good? We praying for you here in North Carolina. They got in their cars and they came here to be with me and my family in a time of need. That's priceless. That's priceless now. I think I've summed it up. I don't want to stay on here long. I just wanted to come on here and give some words of encouragement to let you know that you're not alone, and that anyone that you loved is still around you, some shape, form, or fashion. I know you have videos, you have pictures, you have memories, you have thought, you have maybe messages, text messages, maybe voicemails. Embrace those things, those moments. Embrace those moments. And just know that they're not far away. They're just not here in the flesh. And embrace your quiet time. Honey, embrace it. That's all for now. Thank you all for listening to me. I appreciate it. I'm new to YouTube. I just started. This is an amazing platform. It's a way better connection to me than any other platform. I don't know all the new ones, all the other stuff, But this here, I love. And I love being able to talk to you all. And I hope that this was some inspiring words today. So as we go on our day and we get up in the morning, don't forget to love yourself. Don't forget to, as you look at yourself in the mirror, to smile. Know that you matter. As you wash your face and brush your teeth, just tell yourself how much you are important and that you mean something in the world. And don't forget to insert yourself in meaningful conversations. And just know I do love you. I really do. And I love being able to connect. Okay. Talk to you soon. Bye for now. Until next time. And look who woke up just in time. I knew it. Wait a minute.